time for this week's CEO's blog, and John, we're in a different location. Tell us about this location today.
We're at Sydney Harbour, of course. That's the big bridge in the background there. But the reason we're here this morning, we've just about finalised our media strategy, our marketing strategy with our company Isobar. It's taken a long journey, but it's been very thorough, and in the coming weeks we'll be rolling that out. Much of it's based on social media, a social media strategy, and specific events, the feature events that we've selected so that we can have a good measurement of how this strategy will be taking us forward into the year after this and the year after that, I would suggest.
Okay, well, we'll watch this space. Let's talk about yesterday. There was the HRCC meeting held at Penrith.
One of the more robust meetings at Penrith, but these are very, very worthwhile, and I encourage all clubs to take the opportunity. We meet every 2 months and we debate issues that are affecting the industry, and everyone has an idea, everyone has an opinion, of course, and we work through those. So for the clubs that weren't there yesterday, I suggest you come along to the next one, but Danny Dwyer, Mark Croato, they'll get the information out to all the respective clubs in the coming days. So, but yes, race dates were very much on the agenda. The alternate ambulance service was also on the agenda to discuss. Wagering was there as well. So there's a lot of information which is delivered. It's delivered openly to the clubs, and as I said, take your opportunity and be there.
Okay, well, talking about clubs, let's talk about Wagga. They raced last night. They had all sorts of weather, and they also had a race that was abandoned. Yeah,
Wagga, it was an issue, and the weather was the issue, not Wagga itself. And we looked at that track the day before on Monday to see whether it was race-worthy. We had some doubts, but still the club did very well. The curator down there did what he had to do yesterday and got the track in order. We got the first one underway, but then the stewards had to call the races off for a short time as a lightning and a severe thunderstorm hit. All good, we kept going, but unfortunately race 3 was abandoned when a horse, one of the Calderfeld horses, broke its leg in running. The club acted and the stewards acted absolutely perfectly and in accordance with policy, and the horse was being transported to the veterinary clinic where unfortunately it was euthanized, but still all worked well, and it's good to see that these practices, when we put them in place, are carried out by the clubs.
Yeah, well, talk on the subject of the bad weather. The Riverinas, they've lost a couple of meetings in recent times, Temora and more recently Albury. What's Harness Racing New South Wales' position on that?
Well, it's unfortunate that we lose those race meetings, and what the industry must understand, the clubs don't actually lose out because they're still paid the administration fee. But the people that miss out are the participants. Difficult because there's that many meetings on, there's one following another, and we don't wish to affect those meetings. What we put in place is something unusual, was that we looked at an option of postponing Wagga had we not been able to race last night, but we did. But for next Tuesday, Wagga races again. It was a $3,500 meeting. The Board of Harness Racing New South Wales, we've had a meeting this morning. We're going to elevate that prize money to $5,000. It will be a C grade meeting now, not the R grade meeting. So a text will go out to all participants across the state. Who does it affect? It affects only the Wagga meeting, which will be an A meeting. So it's $5,000 on Tuesday, $6,000 on the following Saturday for Wagga. So it's about putting money back into the industry where we can and where it doesn't affect the other clubs and other participants in other regions.
Okay, well, let's talk about a completely different region. Let's talk about Perth. The Inter-Dominion is on this Friday.
Inter-Dominion's on, and Tiger Tara, he's flying the flag very high for New South Wales, and we wish Kevin and Todd and the owners of that horse all the best, and hopefully he'll bring the trophy home to New South Wales. But importantly, Bankstown race, the True Memorial this Friday, and the club, whilst they've only got a 7-race program, they will be staying open well into into the night, so harness racing enthusiasts can enjoy the big screens and everything else, all the activity they're putting on at Bankstown to enjoy that into Dominion. So I encourage people, make it to the Trua Memorial, stay on until later, and I'm sure Les Bentley will open the bar up and it'll be free drinks all round at some stage.
Drinks are on Les. All right, and before I let you go, we've had the changing of the guard here at Harness Racing New South Wales.
Yeah, it's a changing that it's legislated, and that was with Chris Edwards. His 8-year tenure had expired, and he did a marvellous job. I think the accolades, the compliments that have flowed into Harness Racing New South Wales and to Chris personally are true, and they're achieved by a great contributor to harness racing in Chris Edwards. But with the changing of the guard, we always must have them, and Marissa DeMarco, a bright new face for harness racing, has come on board as at last Monday, but the chairman's role will be taken now by Rod Smith, and he will steer the ship, as it has been steered so very well by the former chairman, in the right direction. We've got some great opportunities here in New South Wales. It is the premier state for harness racing across Australia, and Rod's been in the business. He's been in the business so long. He's very passionate. He's been involved. He's been a contributor, and he will take us forward with a little help from his friends, the other board members, and the industry as a whole, because we must look at it as an industry all joined together and being towards one thing, and that's the benefit of all and the prosperity of harness racing.
Okay, well, on that note, I think that wraps up this edition.
From the Harbour Bridge, yes. Unfortunately, we won't be back here next week.